Hello from IFG headquarters. I wanted to put together a quick video just to kind of communicate and reach out to everybody. I think the most important things is that I'm here, Maria's here, we're available. If you need to have a phone call, even if you want to sit down together, we're available to do that. So you can send me an email, give me a phone call, and we'll make that happen. So first and foremost, we're here for you. I think another thing I've been sharing on some phone calls and some emails is just some of my thoughts on the three big things. Number one, each and every one of you individually and your personal financial plan. Number two, the markets. Number three, the virus itself. The first thing, as I reflect on everyone's individual plan, I could not be prouder or think of a better scenario to go into some unknowns and some uncertainty, as we've worked over the last handful of years to put a client's plan in the best position possible to weather any storm. We've done those things: paying down debt, building reserves, rebalancing portfolios, looking at where our money goes. These are all the things that allow us to experience uncertain times in the best way possible. And as I think of every family that we work with, I think we're in as good of a position as we possibly can. Number two, as far as markets go, I am reminded of all the bad markets in the last 20 years. There are parts of this that remind me of 94, of 2000, of 9/11, and even 08 and 09. Just different parts of each market where a correction or a bear market or even a recession, all things that we've experienced, I see elements in this just the same. And that's confidence building to me, because this is normal. This is what markets do when there is uncertainty. They go down fast and furious. Yet you know our teaching, you know how I think. No one dies in a roller coaster unless they try to get out during the ride. And I think that's important. Or even on a calmer note, the whole purpose of developing some security, developing some wealth, is for times like this to be able to be the mountain in the hurricane, to be able to withstand things, to be calm. If not, the whole idea of caring for your family, protecting your spouse, is so that you can have an element of calm and confidence that you've done everything you can to do that. So when markets are erratic, when they're up and down, swings like this, it can be unnerving. I think it's ridiculous to think anyone wouldn't be. But I want to assure you, these things, these dips, they happen, and there are things to experience, and yet I think the fear that creeps in is probably the bigger danger, the panic one may have, and yet the faith or the confidence that good companies are going to come back, or that the government is going to figure some things out, or that healthcare is going to find a solution as it has throughout history. I think those thoughts help and serve us better than maybe the fear or the depressive thoughts. I think of the virus, and of course I'm not a professional, but the word that comes to mind is personal responsibility. The whole idea of taking care of what you can, your health, your loved ones, focusing on those things. I know for sure that I personally have had to insulate myself from a lot of the noise. And in that, I could tell you one thing: no one has ever said, I became enormously secure. My relationships blossomed. I lived in perfect harmony. I had wealth and success. And the way I did it was I watched the news every night. So no one says that. And just the same, it's just something we have to be aware of, that how are we protecting ourselves from some of the news and noise. But otherwise, personal responsibility, this crisis of sorts, this temporary crisis, I'd love to think, is going to progress. It's going to see its way through. And it's just something we all have to experience and be personally vigilant on to do that. If I could, I'd love to just share some of the things I'm doing. And I'm doing exactly what I'm telling you to do, because the life path is something I follow. Just the same, it's something we've had success in teaching others to follow. So the things like having a good cash reserves, I've done personally. Throwing more investment money into the market, I wrote some checks last week to fund our variable life policy and our growth buckets, even put some money into my children's accounts to help them grow and really make some money in this time. I've thought of ways to be generous, to be in a position where I can help others. I think times like this too also force you to focus on what's most important. So I'm going to be spending a lot more time with my family, so taking walks and bike rides, shooting hoops, playing catch, reading. I called a friend in Arizona last night just to check and see how he was doing. Getting back to what's most important. I almost relish in this opportunity to focus on what really matters. Get back to basics. Watch where our money goes. Or even the whole idea of what is the point to develop wealth unless you can use it. And these are the times to consider using it and feeling comfortable and being comfortable. But all with that personal responsibility. I know all of us are doing the best we can. We are too. And probably someone's email now. Anyway, these are tough times. There's no doubt about it. And I don't have a crystal ball. No one else does. But again, this idea of faith or fear, and clearly I'm going to choose some faith and have some confidence that we're going to persevere through this. So that would be my message to everyone. I hope it does help. And as I started this video, we're here. We're here to help. If you need some, email me, call. Just the same, if there's somebody you know who needs that voice of reason or counter an opinion to what's out there, that's what we're here for. So that's it from IFG headquarters. Have a good rest of the week.